Hey, welcome to the Spitter Swallow Beer Review. Shagdog here with PABrewNews of PABrewNews.
Of course.
On YouTube. I got Rip and Dip Hell's Lager. It's a Hell's Lager, apparently. And a Beer Advocate. No score, 4.9%. It's a Hell's from Ecusta Brewing Company in North Carolina.
All right. I have New Trails Tropical Double Broken Heels. This is a double hazy IPA from New Trail Brewing Company from Williamsport, Pennsylvania.
Oh, Williamsport. The land of the
And
millionaire.
coming in at a very sessionable, I believe, 9.5 or 9.2. Let's see. That is the thing at. Let's see where it is. I think double broken, 9.2 alcohol by volume.
Okay. And this is our summer fiasco of beers. I don't really have too many summer beers, so it's a fiasco. Started off as a fiasco. Cannot stream on Facebook anymore unless you have 100 followers. So that started off the fiasco for today, and there we go. We only have 79 followers on our Facebook channel, so.
And 3 of them are assholes, right? Apparently.
Yeah, I did get 4 new followers today because I posted on my Facebook. So 4 of my friends started following, but yeah, I only got 300 so-called friends on Facebook, and only 4 of them followed. So yeah.
Don't worry, I know what you mean. I do the same thing.
Yeah, this is slightly cloudy. It's a golden, but weird little kind of golden color, like a red tint to it, or
you can see through it though.
Yeah, you can see through it. A red, piss yellow, dark piss yellow, probably.
This is that atypical hazy IPA look. Haze for days, unclear for years. Just orangey yellow.
And this is the Hell's. I don't even know where this brewery is out of. I bought some from I was on a trip North Carolina this past week. So this is Ecusta Brewing Company, which is out of Brevard, North Carolina, whatever hell that's at. So thanks to all my friends in Brevard.
Brevard. Shout out to all the Brevard brothers.
Yeah, not the Brevard, Florida, because that's a different type of county there. I think that's kind of criminal there. Yeah. Yeah.
And so Boulevard. Different.
Yeah. It has a sort of a fruity smell to it, actually. Which I don't know why it's got fruity. I can't read.
Is it like a new school lager where they're using southwestern or southeastern hops, like the Pacific hops and stuff?
There's no info on Beer Advocate, and on the can, I don't see anything. Got the government warning. Brewed by, no, nothing there. Nothing really, but it's a Hell's Lager apparently, and has a little bit of a sweet, fruity smell to it. Whether that's,
I mean, I can understand maybe a little bit of a lemon vibe coming out of it, but I wouldn't think much more else.
Maybe that's what it is. Let's give it a try. How about that? And we shall know.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah, it's a weird taste. It's almost like a mango in there or something.
Oh wow, yeah, they used a definitely different hop than a normal Helles would have.
Mm-hmm.
Not like the Tettnanger, Hallertau, or Zaz kind of thing.
That's weird. Yeah,
it's an inclusive ale, okay, or it's a lager, rather. Inclusive. Yeah, it's an inclusive lager.
Inclusive, yeah. Not bad. Pretty smooth. Not really creamy, but it does leave a little bit of a light lingering of film there, I guess you could say it. Not foam, but film.
Film.
It's very light, but there's a light fruitiness there. It almost tastes like a mango or something.
Oh, all right.
Very, very light.
Fresh?
Oh, you froze or I froze? Barrio. Oh, you froze. I froze. You froze? Or I froze. Let's check. One of us is frozen, folks, so hold on a second. Let's see if we can remove and then add PABrewNews. He's gone. So PABrewNews with that horrible Pennsylvania internet. You know how they are. I think I'm still here. PABrewNews. Well, if you still hear me, PA, I can't hear you. Maybe I'll try to leave and come back. How about that? And add. I'm still here. PA, if you got a black screen, yeah, come on back in. PABrewNews. It's that horrible Pennsylvania internet there. That will happen. You always got a friend in Pennsylvania, but sometimes you lose internet connection also. Actually, down here in South Carolina, especially some rural areas, a lot of people I don't have internet. There's actually electric companies providing internet service now to rural areas. There's PA. He's back.
I'm back. My internet just died.
Tell everybody that. PA internet service. I just tell you.
Yeah, it is. It's a shitty PA rural internet service. That someone, probably a buggy ran into it and fell over.
I was saying the same thing in South Carolina here. People I work with that live in a rural area, they're like, oh, yeah, the electric company, we're finally getting internet. The electric company's provided it. I'm like, really? The electric company's providing the internet? That's weird. Anyhow.
Mm-hmm.
But,
yeah, but I was going to say before, that sounds like a little bit of a new world, almost a juicy IPL or a pale ale more so than a lager.
Yeah.
Or you get that IPL because you get that crisp lager back and finish. What they call, I guess people didn't like the idea of an India pale lager, so now they call them cold IPAs. Now everybody wants one. It's kind of funny. They changed the name and now people like them.
Yeah, I remember their Indian pale lagers. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I heard the cold. Was it cold what?
Cold IPA. That's what it's called now.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, I have heard of those. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, essentially they're just IPLs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jammer would love that. Yeah. There we go. When he did the malt liquor, whatever, deep malt liquor sauce, he started coming up with deep names for malt liquors. Maybe if they came out with that AML, amber malt liquor, and he started Indian pale malt liquor and naming all these different malt liquors that they can create. Actually, they probably could. But
did you guys ever have the Founders malt liquor that they released?
Founders?
Yeah, it was DML. I think it was called DMLK.
Oh, wow.
And it was a big 40, like a big bottle of malt liquor that they released
so
a long time ago.
DMLK stand for Deep Malt Martin Luther King. Deep.
I don't know. All I know is as far as I was concerned, is they were pandering to the lowest common denominator by making a malt liquor for craft beer drinkers. I'm like, yeah, this is not who drinks your shit, dude. I just thought it was stupid.
That's true.
You know. Yeah. Is it sold under railway bridges as well? I don't know.
Does Victory make a stout or anything like that? I'd never had a stout by them, but I was wondering if they actually had a stout.
Victory makes Storm King, which is a decent. It's an imperial. It's classified as imperial stout. And I know people like to argue with me about this, but it's so heavily hopped up now. It tastes like a black IPA.
Oh, okay.
They also make it like an Irish stout, but you can't get it distributed. It's something that you get like only right around the brewing company or at the brewing company. So they do make stouts, but to your point, they don't distribute these fucking things. And like I said, the Storm King is more like a black IPA. It's so goddamn hoppy. My girl loves stouts and imperial stouts. And when I give her some of these things, she's like, like all I taste is hops.
Yeah.
You know, that's a good sign that you're just too damn hoppy. Like you're doing is too much.
They're by Philly, right? Downingtown, Pennsylvania?
They're Downingtown. That's near Marvell, which is on 30. It's probably like maybe 40 minutes outside Philly.
Okay.
West of Philly.
All right.
Mm-hmm. I was just at Trogs recently, and they do a nice imperial stout called Impending Descent. We had that while we was there. And also I had a triple nipple nader. So it was a triple bock. It was it was a bit thin. It should have been a lot thicker, a lot more richer, because Sam Adams back in the day had a triple bock. It was a real rare beer that they made. Basically, it was the start of that Utopaz that came out later. but that had a nice little viscosity and chewiness to it comparatively. A high ABV, it was like 17-18% back then. So it came in blue bottles, but it looked black because the beer coated the bottle so much. You actually had to get done drinking it and wash the bottle out, and you found it was a cobalt blue bottle. It was very interesting.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you'll have to if you I don't know if you do your beer reviews on Facebook too, or you just do YouTube, but you'll have to share our Facebook page so we can start streaming on Facebook again. It's kind of sucking.
Probably. I never did it, but I didn't even think about making a PA Brew News Facebook page. I never even thought about it.
I mean, we don't get that many views on Facebook, but occasionally we get some on certain videos or whatever.
Just make a PA Brew News OnlyFans page where I just review all my beers naked.
I might do the same thing I wish my teeth were straighter. I might get more views.
If I knew people would actually do it, I probably would have a long time ago. But I doubt they would subscribe.
I love those YouTube channels. Like, if you want to view more and get our early access, our Patreon, and all this crap, I'm like, I would never pay for Patreon. I'll see it when you post it to the normal people like myself. Yeah.
I have a Patreon for PA Brew News. I made a Patreon for PA Brew News just because, like, who knows,
Right.
Nothing. Nobody ever subscribed. So I have a Patreon for PA Brew News, but there's also a Oil Paintings by PA Brew News where if you are a patron, you get like a 20% discount on paintings.
Oh, that's cool.
Which actually pays for the subscription. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it pays for more than that. And then on the same page, where's the PA Outdoors Couple, which you get free merch. If we release merch, you get it for free.
You try OnlyFans with that too.
Yeah, I probably should.
Yeah,
if I wasn't such a jealous man, I would do that. With we just be fucking in the back of the truck in the woods on OnlyFans.
Well, I don't think. Why do you have to do that type of stuff? OnlyFans is you're my fan, right? Whatever I do.
Right.
So
I even told that to my kids. It was really funny because they were talking about OnlyFans. I said, actually, OnlyFans was not started as a porn site. It was just It was for anybody. Because there's like cooking shows on OnlyFans. There's like all these other different platforms other than the sex, and I think that is pretty funny.
Yeah, it helps if you're a pretty woman, but
oh my god, you know what I mean? Like, and this is just a perspective that I've seen over and over and over again. Everything that I do, and you do, whatever, beer reviews, whatever. I could have my own show right now if I was a mildly attractive woman. Like I could have a beer show online if I was a mildly attractive, quirky woman.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I could sell every one of my paintings for a lot of money if I was a mildly attractive, quirky woman.
Right. I mean,
but because we're dudes, we can't do anything.
I mean, if you had a woman on your beer review, you get more views just because of that.
Just because of that. Just in case you have your personality. Yeah,
good personality.
You're absolutely 100% correct.
Yeah. I mean, we had I don't know if it was Jeff G or somebody else that views us, but he's like, "Where's those two girls that used to do beer reviews with it? Or where's that girl who used to beer?" And they used to sit on the side. You never saw their face. And we're like, which one? And, they both had nasally voices. So which one? We had my girlfriend and this other girl used to back in like 2015, 16.
Yeah, right.
And he didn't know which one it was. Me and Jim were like, they both had nasally New Jersey accents.
Oh shit! Yeah. My favorite line to say, and I feel this has some truth to it. The only women that bitch about sexism are the bitches that are too ugly or too stupid to make fucking money off of it.
Right. That's true.
They just like I was gonna say, like the world's your fucking oyster. You don't even have to take your clothes off. Like I don't understand why people always go to that route. You don't need to. Wear comfy pajamas, kick your feet up, and play Xbox. People will follow you and pay you.
Personality. Personality is a big one, and there's a lot of girls that are like on these different dating sites. A couple of dating sites they have a video thing, and you could buy these gift type things to give to them, and I guess they get a certain percentage. And they're on there with their clothes on, talking, but most of them are nasty mouths, like sailors, ghetto sailors at that too. Even the
finding a lady is very, very rare these days. I like, and I mean, I like that old saying, "Lady on the street, whore in the sheets," that kind of thing. Like, if you could be a very up-class, presentable woman on outside and be comfortable and dirty on when you're home, that's the perfect combo right there.
Yeah, that's one of Jammer's favorite sayings too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's just something. You can't be like that all the time. You definitely shouldn't get online and show the world you're like it all the time either.
Right, you got to do that privately and personally with someone special.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be etiquette. Know how to set a dinner table. Look presentable. Don't wear pajamas all the time when you're out. And when you get home, you can take it off and eat buttholes. I mean there you go. Good girl. Yeah, but I can't stand this whole like everyone needs to wear pajamas and sweatpants thing. I'm an old school guy. I can't stand it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, even I was also I was in North Carolina. My friend went to work, so I was watching her dogs for her. But I decided to go out, drive around town a little bit, and I went to a Burger King. I figured I'll get something to eat at Burger King, and I'm sitting.
Get your burger.
I had to get my burger on.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting across from my Waffle House, is right next to Burger King, and I'm looking there. I see two girls talking to each other and laughing at each other at a booth. I'm like, oh, what's this? And then I see them stand up, shake hands, and the one left, and the one had a clipboard. I'm like, oh, it must be a job interview. Well, the one who had the job interview had jeans on, not a really good shirt, not even a good shirt for a job interview. I'm like, how can you go to a job interview with regular old jeans, faded jeans, a regular shirt, not give it. At least if you're going to wear jeans, wear a nice pair of jeans, I guess. And some type of shirt is something presentable, I guess, if you're going to wear it with jeans, Right. And I was like, holy shit. I mean, I just can't believe it. And I was watching some show about that, like people talking about going to job interviews and people don't even dress up for job interviews. I hate to go to job interviews. I never wore a fucking suit. And occasionally I wear a shirt and tie, but after a while, especially when I lived in Florida, it was just too damn hot. I wear a polo shirt and slacks and shoes. I figure that's good enough.
I always wore I always wore my Masonic outfit, so it's the black with I have a black on black on black on black, so black tie, black thing, black vest, black overcoat. Usually my hat with a little Masonic pin right here, just to show you, you're playing with a real deal.
No shoulder pads with spikes or anything, though, right?
No. But I'll tell you what, something about shoulder pads. Ever since I used to watch Murphy Brown, a woman with shoulder pads just gets.
Oh, you're talking about those shoulder. I was talking about regular football shoulder pads.
No. I'm just thinking about Candace Bergen with her fucking ethereal, like she was like, yeah, tell me what to do. You need to yell at me right now.
Girls don't wear those outfits with the shoulder pads anymore.
Not anymore. No. I would like to go into a job interview looking like the Legion of Doom. That would have been pretty fun. The Road Warriors. Right. That would have been pretty fun.
I even thought about shaving my head like Hawk, with the side ones. The side.
There you go.
Be bald in the middle.
For next year's summer chaos that you're doing right now, you should do that. You could have it, and he should shave his too, so you could be Hawk and Animal for the whole summer.
He won't do it. Jammer won't do it. I've been talking years. Hey, we should do on Christmas. Hey, let's be Jesus and Santa Claus. Hey, let's on Easter. Let's be Moses and Jesus. Whatever. He won't do Axl Rose and Slash. Different costumes that you can buy. Jammer don't want to do it. He don't want to spend the money on that.
Oh,
but
it doesn't cost anything to cut your hair.
Yeah, and Hawk and Animal will be easy. The makeup,
and it's not like he has long hair. It'll grow back fast. You
don't have to do tattoos, do makeup. I figured it'd be really awesome to do a face tattoo like that, like they had. But that's not removable, so that probably wouldn't be good in the long run. Yeah,
that would be a little bit too much.
We'd be kind of skinny. Jammer, I'd be skinnier. Hawk Animal. Jammer would kind of fit the role a little bit.
If you really look at it right now, they're both skinnier than you are now.
That's true. That's
true. You're dead.
Right. I mean, I don't know how the burial was. They might even be dust for all I know. Yeah.
Exactly. So don't worry about that. You'll be
Yeah.
all right. This is probably, to me, now the problem that I have with New Trail. Let me just say this right now let me preface this. The problem with New Trail is they want to do a new beer every 2 weeks. Basically, they're just constantly giving out new beers, but all of them are hazy double IPAs, and all of them taste the same with different labels for the most part. And I really do like New Trail, and when they nail it, they nail it. When they don't, they don't. But tropical, double Broken Heel is good. Tropical Broken Heel is better. It sounds stupid, but this is just a little bit better beer. I do like the kind of like over-ripened pineapple, mango, nectarine kind of thing that's in this. It's still got a little bit of bitterness, which is nice because I sound like a hypocrite, but I hate this haze craze juice mama bullshit. I really love bitterness and pine and earthiness, but they're just so rare anymore. But this beer gives me the tropical stuff. It actually gives me a little bit of a kick, so it balances the tropical, which is nice, and it's 9.2, which is better. So for the generally always available New Trail Brewing Company beer, this is the beer to go for. But some of their one-offs, like some of their series that only comes out now and again, which is again the same beer with a different label over the years, they're good. But this one is the quintessential. If you see this is the beer that you're going to get that you're going to be happy about with New Trail. And they're available at most grocery stores around here, or grocery stores and gas stations.
Is that a 19 ounce?
It is a 19.2. The only way to go.
All right. Yeah. Hey, what's the biggest grocery store in your area there? Or a couple of
grocery store, I think, obviously Super Walmarts, but we don't talk about that. The biggest grocery store, there's 2 grocery stores in the area that are their big boys. Weiss Markets, which is the local boys, and then Giant, which is pretty big. Especially down, I guess, near Hershey is where Giant Stadium is and stuff like that. So, but which I think is the same company that owns Giant Eagle, or that just might be a nomenclature thing. I don't know. But Weiss and Giant are the 2 big boys around here. Yeah. Actually, I really enjoy Aldi's, honestly. Aldi's, good prices, Aldi, obviously. Aldi, but Aldi's, I'd say Aldi's. Not Aldi's nuts, but
I can say all days. I can say Aldi's all days.
All days. Well, it's kind of funny because I've been to Aldi in Germany and Aldi in America, and then I've been to Lidl, which is Aldi's cheaper brand. I was in Lidl in Germany, I think, and in England. So I've been around a couple Aldi and Lidls in my time. I actually really like their prices on a lot of stuff over at the Aldi. So that might be
a lot of people like the Aldis. Yeah, they got the Aldis here. We got Kroger, Food Lion.
Oh, Kroger, yeah.
On the other side of the river, over in Augusta, Georgia, they do have a Sprouts, stuff like that. There's some other store over there too. I can't remember the name of it. And of course, Walmart. But I just went to North Carolina. They have to me, it looks like it says drive by real fast. It's called Ingles, but it's called Ingles. But it's with an I. And to me, it looked like Ingles, the way it's spelled. Ingles. Oh, you speak English? Yeah. Well, it's Ingles.
I always appreciate the local. Like, the local is the way to go.
Yeah.
That's how I always like it. Like, I like all these because the prices. Like, I can buy, there's the trimmed ribs, but then there's that bigger slab of ribs where you get a little bit of the back stuff, a little bit but that's like $8. If you go over to Weiss, it's still $16, $17. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to all these. More meat for cheaper. I always look at bottom line shit. Doesn't matter what topic we're talking about. Does it put food in my belly for cheaper? Then that's what I want. You know what I mean? Like, I
remember when I lived in New York and the Weiss came in there. Weiss, because before that we had a small chain called Super Duper at one time, but
I
We
remember
had
Super Duper.
Tops.
Tops. There's still a Tops here in Canton.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Tops. I think that was the biggest one until Weiss came in, where I lived in New York. Yeah, so it's Tops and Weiss. And of course, I got Wegmans now.
Last year, was it last year? We went over to Tops and got some Jiffy Pop for our camping adventure. So no, Tops is something I know. And I love the fact that if you go to the Tops in Canton, it still looks like the same Tops that was built in the 60s. I think that's the cool part.
When I used to work at a juice plant with Jammer, we worked at this one juice plant in Florida, and we were the number one at the time. Of course, they went out of business or whatever, but we're the number one juice plant for store brand juice. And we did the Piggly Wiggly. We actually did Tops. We had juice for Tops, store brand for Tops. A whole bunch of different stores. We're the top store brand juice manufacturer. So, and our biggest name brand, we did I think we did I don't think we did Florida Natural. Maybe it was Florida Gold we did, and we also did Sunkist juice.
Okay.
Isn't big for orange juice or more soda, right? But we did the orange juice for Sunkist. I don't know we didn't even buy it. They didn't have it in our area. We're making Sunkist orange juice, but you couldn't buy it where we lived in Florida. You didn't see that shit on the shelves. So I don't know where the hell they sold that at, but
they probably sold it inland where they don't have oranges. That's where it went. You know what I mean? Kansas or whatever. Yeah. But there's not too many people you could have a Tops conversation with.
Right.
That's true. So that's pretty cool. So we had a nice little Tops conversation. That's nice. Over down, if you go to a little bit north of Gettysburg, it seems to be like the orchard capital of Pennsylvania right there. And I know they have a lot of Mott's plants there. Mott's cider. If you go through there, it's Route 34. If you drive through there, you drive through orchard. I mean, for miles and miles and miles, and you see different juicing plants. It's more collection plants, but it's for juicing companies.
Yeah,
it's pretty crazy down there. There's actually a place a little bit like 150 to 100 miles north of that. It's funny. I just drove through there first last year. Christmas trees for at least an hour as far as you can see.
Wow.
I've never seen so many Christmas trees in my life. I'm like, what is like this little tiny valley full of Christmas trees? Everywhere you look, it's Christmas trees and Christmas trees and Christmas trees. I think that's where all the Christmas trees in America come from. That's how many there are. It's just huge. It's just insane.
Believe it or not, I was at one place in Florida. I don't know how the hell. I mean, they do have pine trees in Florida, but not too many. But there was some place that grew Christmas tree, pine tree. You grow it, buy it, and it had pine trees, little tiny pine trees growing. Mm-hmm. I was like, how's this shit growing so good down here? I don't know what the hell they're using, but anyhow.
Do you have that? Is that where that, like in Florida, you have paper bark trees? Is that where that paper bark tree and stuff comes from? Or it's highly flammable?
You're going to have to ask Jammer that one because he's more of a Floridian than I am.
Well, I know you were all over. You were a Wilkes-Barreian for a while. You dirty bastard.
Yeah, dirty Wilkes-Barreian.
Yeah. Have you ever been on Blackman Street in Wilkes-Barre?
That sounds familiar.
It's a little bit away from the mall over there. Like if you went from the wall and then you walked from the mall to the ghetto, you're back in the mall. Yeah, the boy.
It sounds familiar. Yeah, another bad part of Wilkes-Barre, I think, when I lived there was Franklin. I think Franklin Street was a bad one.
Franklin Boulevard?
Something like that. I can't remember what it was called. I remember one time I came home from the Army and my friends were like, hey, let's go fuck with some hookers. We're going to pick up the hookers. But I think it was Franklin something, but we're driving down the street talking shit to hookers as we're driving by, and then the cops light us up.
They're extremely rare now, and I like to joke. Basically, the hookers in this area anymore, the ones that are actively going are usually Latino, and they all wear sweatpants. And it's the one where you have to judge how much stuff is separating from their cheeks while you're pulling them down. Like that's going to be where your price point is. Yeah. They're going to give you the price afterwards. Like, honey, how was that? Was it sloppy? Was it okay? You know what I mean? Like,
Price
yeah,
Actually.
you can haggle a little bit more than you used to back in the 90s. It's a little bit more of a like, okay, this is definitely a $20. How you doing?
Yeah. I remember this one hooker used to hang around the square when we were kids, high school, and her name was Bunny. She hung around the Wilkes-Barre Square. So we drive around. So we out the window, hey, Bunny, I'll give you 3 packs of cigarettes and 2 bottle caps. And she's like, okay.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one you need.
Oh, Bunny.
Well, most of the strip clubs and stuff are gone now. Most of the strip, like Triple Nickel, trying to think, Paradise. I think no Paradise Isle. No, the one Paradise Isle is gone. Triple Nickel's gone. The Tiki Lounge is there barely.
I only went to one down by the square of Wilkes-Barre. That's when I was home from the Army. After I got out of the Army, went to visit some because my parents moved to Williamsport at that time, area.
Oh well, did you go to Uncle Fred's in Williamsport? It's still there.
I didn't go there. Is it a strip club?
Last time when I went there when I was a kid, they were still dancing on school tables.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, they moved to Williamsport when I was in the Army, and then actually by the time I got to the Army, they moved to Avis, Pennsylvania, which is by Jersey Shore.
I know Avis on 150,
yeah.
150, 150.
Yeah, there's a Jersey Shore Steel, I think, and Avis. Yeah. We lived right across the street from there.
Yeah, I know where that is. Yeah, I go through there all the time.
It was loud as shit until like Christmas, like for 2 weeks they shut down, and then 4th of July they shut down. Yeah.
Okay, so you know Wilkes-Barre, right? And then now you know Williamsport. I am directly between those two.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's where I'm at, directly between those two. The high part of Columbia County, right between those two. That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because you could take 118 from Williamsport all the way basically to Wilkes-Barre and vice versa. I'm like 20 minutes south of 118.
I remember I took a 80 across one time when I was stationed. I was in Fort Monmouth, New Jersey one time when I was in the Army, and my sergeant I worked with going home to Wisconsin for Christmas. I'm going to go home to Williamsport where my parents live, and we'll give you a ride. His father came and picked him up. Yeah, all right. I thought 80 was like right there at Williamsport, but it's actually
no, it's about 45 minutes at least north. Yeah. So you go to 80, then you go to 81, then you go to 309. Yeah.
Right. And they dropped me off and called my parents from this like truck stop or whatever hell it was. Yeah, I'm here. You're way down by 80. Okay. They came and got me, but it was like it was actually a little bit. I thought it was 80 was right there at Williamsport, but it wasn't.
You must have been near the mountaintop truck stop when they picked you up. I think it was like mountaintop area.
Not Wilkes-Barre, my bad. Williamsport.
Williamsport. Oh, okay. If you're out there, then you might have been near Lamar. Oh, and at the big quad. Yeah, you were near Lamar when they picked you up. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is my stomping ground. I love this. And the PA Outdoors Couple channel that I have. I love driving around. I could drive around PA literally all day, every day.
Did you ever go to that place where the highway that never finished or whatever the hell it is? I think it's more south central Pennsylvania, but.
Well, there's the abandoned turnpike tunnels.
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah,
it's in Breezewood. It's in Breezewood, Pennsylvania, and that's where I got engaged.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, actually, it's on my channel, PA Outdoors Couple on YouTube. It's the second video on there. You actually get to see me getting engaged.
Oh, cool. Now, did you ever do the other place there, the Centennial with mines on fire or whatever? Centralia. Yeah. They recently just bulldozed a bunch of dirt. Someone bought that and bulldozed dirt over the whole thing, so you can't go to the graffiti highway. Oh no!
New Trail just released a beer called Graffiti Highway. And of course, in my review, I go, "Hey, that's cool. You're about fucking 3 years too late. Like, why didn't you release this as an annual release 10 years ago? Like, what the fuck?"
So they destroyed Graffiti Highway. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. Now, technically speaking, if you get a bulldozer, you just move all the dirt off and keep going, but it's illegal. So that's on 54. That is between, I think, Ashley. Was it Ashley or Natalie? But basically, you take 54 from Danville, Riverside, you take it all the way down to Ashland, and it's between there. And they just rerouted 54 because the coal fires underneath Centralia. Yeah.
Yeah, I know there's like, I forget how many households are still there, like 11 or 13. They're grandfathered in, but once they die, they can't sell that property.
It's getting less and less and less and less.
Yeah,
I guess they actually did some shooting for the Silent Hill film there.
Oh, really?
I don't know that for a fact, but I do know for a fact that if you go to Ligonier, Pennsylvania, I think some people call it Legionnaire. I don't know how to actually pronounce that. It's on 30. If you go to Legionnaire or Ligonier, Pennsylvania, on route, I think I'm dyslexic, but I think it is 381. It's either I don't think it's 318. I think it's 381. There's a road where they shot. You can really see it. As soon as you get on it, you can tell it's the right road. They shot the intro for Tales from the Dark Side.
Huh.
The 1986 or 7 horror TV series.
Right. And that Abandoned Highway we talked about too. That movie with the guy Morgan Virgo Mortensen or whatever hell his name is from Lord of the Rings.
You're talking about The Road. Yes, The Road with Viggo Mortensen. Yeah, and that was shot there as well. Yes. Yep. Yeah, that was shot there. That was this sidling. There's 2 tunnels. There's the Rays Hill Tunnel and the Sidling Tunnel. I think he shot his shit at the Sidling Tunnel.
Right.
The Sidling Tunnel is about 2 miles long, almost 2 miles, close, and is completely black inside. The Rays Hill Tunnel, you can actually see the end of the tunnel from the beginning. So it's not pitch black, but it's black enough. We still need to do a full walk of both tunnels on the channel, but we will be doing that. We actually might do that this weekend because we're going down to Bedford this weekend.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I saw a guy did the first tunnel, I think, and he does like a channel where he visits abandoned buildings and shit like that. So he's like gas stations and abandoned towns that pretty much are half abandoned. Still people living in the area, but there's a lot of buildings that are abandoned or whatever.
I want to do more of that, but honestly, obviously, we don't want to break the law.
Right.
But at the same time, too, is my girl is very like, oh, don't go in there. You might get hurt. Don't do this. I'm like, oh, come on. Right. Like, it's for the channel. It's either like, because my view is, because I've been doing this for a long time. I've been getting in front of a camera for a long time. 13 years, actually, by the way. I've been doing this. I'm a loser. But it's one of the, I don't even have 1,000 subscribers, so I'm definitely a loser. But it's, you either go all the way or you don't do it.
Yeah, go balls deep, or
go like when you want to do a beer review, you turn yourself on, turn it on. It doesn't matter if you're in a bad mood, turn it on, and that's what I'm trying to express to her, but she doesn't understand that.
You gotta what the hell does Jammer call it? Own it. You have to own it, right?
You gotta own it. You gotta go in. You gotta go in full scale.
Yeah.
You gotta put your actor on. It's acting. It is acting to a certain degree. I mean, like, you're not hiding who you really are, but at the same time, you're like, "Hi guys, Paul here from PABrewNews." Because I was like, you know what? So I was gonna blow my brains out or whatever. Hi guys, Paul here from PABrewNews. Like you just.
Yeah. When we used to do beer reviews together, he'd be like, "All right, now this one, come on, get into it, get ready, come on." He tries like,
yeah, like,
go, come on, all righty. And when we did karaoke too, he's like, "Come on, own it." Yeah, I'm here. Did you lose me?
No, I got you. Keep me hanging on.
Yeah, he used to like karaoke. He's like, "Come on, own it. That's your song." Even when I'm up there singing, like, "Come on, own it."
I couldn't do karaoke. I can't do it. No way. I'm too social anxiety. I couldn't do that.
Usually I had to have about 3 or 4 beers before I get up there. But after a while, I was like, okay, I get up there without a beer, but I feel more comfortable with a beer, as my
Oh
second
yeah,
partner.
lots of beer.
Microphone in one hand, beer in the other, and a cigarette. Maybe microphone stand, cigarette, and a beer. But I don't smoke anymore. But back when I smoked, yeah.
Yeah. We found a couple places that still. It's kind of funny. We were over in Coaldale, Pennsylvania, near Raystown Lake. We went to a nice dive bar. I swear to God, it was broken down. I would have never went in without her there. But it was called Rookies, and it was misspelled, which always tells you it's going to be a good time. And the food was decent. She found the cook's hair in her food. That was funny because it was I knew whose hair it was because it was the bartender. I'm like, yeah, her long hair, that's hers. Food was good price. Beer, oh my God, the beer, Southwestern Pennsylvania, the beer prices are so cheap. Right. I want to live down there because the beer prices, you can get 2 drinks for $8. Here, you can't even get 1 drink for $8. That's why we don't go out.
Well, I went to Elmira. I mean, compared to where I lived in Florida, small town northeast of Tampa, go to Elmira, New York. Bars all over the place. Pitchers of beer were like $5, $6 compared to where I lived in Florida, like 10, 11, 12 at the time. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Yeah.
We went through Elmira recently. I just drove through it. There seems to be some nice old spots, some shitty spots too. But we took the Route 14. We took that all the way to Sodas Point. And we hit Sodas Point up on Lake Ontario. It's pretty good.
Oh, I didn't even know 14 went that high. Yeah,
it went right. It goes right by 14. Here's a Pennsylvania fact: 14 goes right by the Lake Geneva. Right? It goes all the way to Sodas Point up in Lake Ontario. It starts in Canton, Pennsavania.
Oh, okay. Now is that the one that goes 14. By Harrisburg or?
No. Actually, it doesn't actually. No, I say wrong. You can connect it in there on 145 from Forksville, but Canton starts a little bit north of Williamsport.
Oh, okay.
And you can actually take 14 from Williamsport to Sodas Point, New York, at Lake Ontario, which is a great drive.
There might be another one. I think it's 15. There's one that's by Harrisburg, and it goes all the way up by Williamsport.
Yeah,
I think that one goes.
15 will actually go all the way down to Virginia.
Yeah, and that one goes up to Corning, New York, I believe. I think.
Yeah, that goes up to Corning. It goes to Dansville, Dansville, New York, or something like that. You take 36 over, blah 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 blah. But for a backcountry road, 14 is definitely the way to do that. It's much more enjoyable.
I think that one goes through Troy. 14 goes through Troy, Pennsylvania, or Towanda.
14 is through Troy. It's nice. It's from Canton to Troy, all the way up. Okay, Elmira is a shithole, and I wish I didn't drive through there. But it's part of the drive, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a nice little town. It's a pearl of New York.
It is a nice little town. It's a nice royal cesspool.
It's funny when I was at a store one day and some guys talking to me, the clerk at the store, and I was like, I'm from upstate New York. And he's like, oh, where at? I'm like, Elmira. He goes, oh, yeah. I know where that's at. I said, yeah, it's also known as Hellmire, which really the prison is known as Hellmira. But he's like, oh, yep, Hellmira. Yeah, he's from Brooklyn or something, but he knew it was Elmira, Hellmira. Yeah. He's like,
it's kind of funny that you say from upstate New York, because technically speaking, once you get away from like Syracuse, like let's say Syracuse is like top state New York. Right. There's a whole chunk of New York there that just seems really pretty and really country and really inviting.
Right. And the problem with upstate New York is New York City area considers anything north of New York City area upstate New York. And that's when I first moved to Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, I met a girl from Brooklyn. I told her from Elmira. Elmira, we call that area Southern Tier New York.
Right. Southern Tier.
But I met this girl from Brooklyn. or Bronx, where else she was from. And she's like, "Oh, you're upstate." No, Southern Tier. Oh, you're
No,
upstate.
no. Actually, I'm actually more. I'm more north than you, but just generally west.
Right.
Yeah, like no, because there is that chunk of upstate New York that nobody talks about. And I was looking online. It looks fucking beautiful.
Yeah. There's a lot of beautiful spots up there. Even Elmira around it, the town, not the city itself, but around it, the hills, the valley, whatever, Chemung Valley. And
I used to go up 11 all the way to Binghamton because north of Binghamton used to be is still there. It's Sam the Beer Man. It was a great place to pick up brews.
Huh. Yeah, Elmira was considered a really great town back in like the 50s, I guess.
Yeah, but every town was considered a good town in the 50s before the inclusiveness rolled over it.
Right. Yeah. And Elmira, even before the great flood of 72, from what everybody said, lived there before 72.
Yeah, good old Agnes. Yeah. Good old Agnes.
After 72, it was over. But Elmira's population, the highest peak was in the mid 50s or something, mid to late 50s, the highest population peak, then been downhill. And it's been pretty.
The town that I came from, Berwick, which is known as Berwick around here, but Berwick, where the Bulldogs come from.
Yeah, Berwick.
Coach Tower, the whole deal. But in the 50s, we had Macy's. Macy's was a department store in downtown. Like we had everything. There was record shops. There was, everything you wanted was in Berwick. It's hilarious because now it's like a destitute ghost town of death.
I'm sure that the coach is dead now. By now, I'm going to guess, right? Was it Mickey Gorham?
I actually don't know how old Cower was, and I don't know if Cower died or not. He left here. I don't understand people. So the Weasley fuck left us for more money to go to Williamsport, which was our rivals, right? And then the fuckers took him back. Why would you ever take him back? No, your turn. Don't hang him in the street like you should do. Shoot him and dump him in the river like
what was
you
his
should.
Name again?
Cower. Coach Cower.
And he was the one that was the Berwick
I said
coach.
it wrong again. I said this wrong last time. It's Coach Curry. Coach Curry.
And that was the football coach for the late 80s Berwick team. That was national.
No, the 80s, 90s. He was the coach when I was there. Yeah. In the 90s. I'm not that fucking old. Curry was there when I was a coach.
You're old. No.
I am old.
We had Mickey Gorham there. Where I went to high school at Myers High School in Wilkes-Barre, and he had a dog. He lived down the street from one of my friends, and he had a fence. It was like a ranch type not picket fence, but there's just two wood things to go across and the beams. But the dog was crazy. They'd come under the damn wood attacking you, So my brother one night got some pepper spray, and that fucker comes at us. We're getting him. He came out through that fence. He gassed, pepper spray.
Yeah.
The dog and went. Rrr. And then the coach one time, we got in a big brawl on that street one time. This is years while I was in the Army. Me and my friends were going home. My friend lived on that street. Somebody was puking in my car, and one of the guys got out of the car like, "Oh shit, he's puking. Let me out." Pushed the girl up in the seat. It was a bucket seat that folded forward. He got out of the car, and my friend ran his leg over, so he's out in the road laying. The car behind us, like, "Get out of the street, motherfucker!" Talking shit, and gets out of the car. One of our friends had a broken leg, crutches, like, "Fuck you!" Threw the crutch in his car. The guy went hopping over the guy. The guy laid him out. Well, all those get out of the two cars because the guy didn't realize there's two cars of us. We get out of the car. We went and beat two dudes up, pretty much. But Mickey Gorham was right there in front of Mickey Gorham, the coach's house. And I guess he must have because I never played for him. I never played football when I was in Pennsylvania. I played in New York. But my younger brother was there, and he said the cops knew it was the Spencer brothers and the Graham brothers. And I was like, oh, shit. That motherfucker must have turned us in or something. But
that's why you use big coaches and shoot them.
Yeah, it was more than just the Spencer and the Graham brothers, but he got two of the families of all.
Right, he got close. He got fucking close, right?
Yeah, But one of our friends we went to high school with, his name was Peaches. He worked with one of the dudes we beat up, and he came to our neighborhood like a couple of days later. I was on leave from the army, He's like, yeah. He said there was like 12 of you. You're all like 7 feet tall, and like we're all real big. And the dude was a lot bigger than us, but there's probably about 7 of us and 2 of them though. So odds were in our favor. But we broke the dude's ribs and he had a concussion or whatever. But the other dude got out of the car. I went after the other dude. He got out of the car, come running around the car. I went after him, and I actually punched him in the forehead when he came towards me. I like punched him in the forehead, but I just hit him with my 2 knuckles. I thought I broke my hand because I just got him with the 2 knuckles over here. And then, but I got him top. I'm hitting him, and then I get off him because he's like, hey, he's screaming or whatever. So I go help my friends. This big dude they're up against. Anyhow, I go back, and it was a big mess. But the bad part was this young kid was hanging out with my friend at the time. I didn't know who he was, but his name was Mike. And he's kicking this dude. This dude's out cold at the ground. This dude's kicking him in the face. Don't kick the guy
when he's fucking unconscious.
Yeah, I grabbed him. I said, come on, that's enough. And we took off. But I was like, Jesus Christ. That's crazy. And then they said, all right, we're gonna say you did it all, because I was about to go to Fort Hood. And they were like, we're gonna say you did it all.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I was like,
you go to jail for that.
Yeah, I know. I said, that's not me. I said, man, I didn't even hardly touch that guy. I give him a couple rib shots. I know I didn't break him ribs with my skinny arms.
The weirdest thing I saw when I was in Berwick, I saw a guy at Stanko's get curb stomped. That was pretty interesting.
Yeah. Me and Jammer, and we went to see Ronald the Riot in Louisiana one time. We're on Bourbon Street. We decided to go to another street, Charles Street or whatever, check out some of the shops or whatever. It's like 11 o'clock at night, whatever time it is. We're going down the side street to get over there, and we see a motorcycle cop with 2 girls, and the 2 girls are taking pictures with the cop by his motorcycle. And we're looking, and there's a dude passed out over here on a stoop, a little stoop thing, 1-step stoop. And he's passed out, and there's vomit all over the place. And I'm like, is this one of these girls' boyfriends? And they called the cop, but hey, let's take pictures while we're here, because here's a cop taking pictures with these 2 hot girls, and the dude's passed out over here on a stoop, just vomiting all over the place, and probably half dead. I was like, oh well, let's keep going.
Let's keep going. It's not your problem. Not your problem.
Yeah.
There was actually a guy who died OD'd. It was funny because when we were in England, I guess spice, they call it spice, was a big problem in England. And there was this guy.
Synthetic marijuana or spice?
I have no idea. But there was this guy passed out in the entrance to a shop, right? In the quarter shop. And we come back again, and there's cops over there, and that guy's still laying there. There's cops, they're doing their thing. I'm like, oh, he must have been dead. I was like, wow, he's dead. Cool.
Shit.
Yeah.
Sure. Ronald the Riot, when we met him, he's like, I'm going to take you guys out for lunch. Okay, some great barbecue place or whatever. All right. We're going down there. There's helicopters flying all over, cops all over. He's like, oh, some cop got shot today somewhere around here. We get to the restaurant.
Yeah, like, you know what, Ronald? Like, you're not making me want to go to fucking Louisiana at all. I was just telling you. We always make fun of the fact that he's Ronald the racist and shit like that. Like, it's funny. It's a japery kind of a tonality when we say it, but at the same time, it's more like you're not doing anybody any favors, bud.
He's like, yeah, some cop got shot. We had to go to this barbecue place, and there's like cops all over the place. I was like, damn.
No, thank you. No, thank you. I don't know. This one girl I talked to years and years ago, she used to do like artistic photos of her on the coffins in the graveyards, and I'm like, still wouldn't mind, going to Louisiana, turning a corner and seeing someone artistically displayed out on a gravestone. I think I might go to town on that thing. I don't know what to say. It would be like, oh, sorry, I don't know what happened. No, my fault.
It was a fun trip. I mean, for one thing, I worked graveyard shift, and I met Jammer. I think I got off work I was working 8-hour shifts still at that point, I think. But Maybe it was 12 hours. But anyhow, I got off work, met him at his parents' house. He drove from St. Pete to his parents' house. Met there. He's going to drive. All right. I tried to sleep on the way there. Of course, he drives like a madman, cutting in and out of traffic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then I fell asleep eventually for about 20 minutes or so. And then he's like, hey, we're on I-75. Then you got to take I-10 and go towards New Orleans. He's like, yeah, we're still on I-75. I'm like, really? I can't believe it because I swore we had like so many miles left till we get to I-10. He's like, oh, yeah, we're on I. And he tried to play it off. We're coming up to a sign that says I-10. He's like, oh, look at that deer. He's trying to get my view. He tried to play with me. Make me think we're still on I-75. He's like, oh, look at that deer over there. And I'm trying to get my view away from the I-10 sign coming up, All right. We're on I-10, you motherfucker. Why are you lying to me? It was a good weekend. We got there at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 5 o'clock, whatever time it was. We went out drinking. So I pretty much been up all day, all night, all day.
Yeah.
But I had to carry him home to the hotel because he drank some shit called the Jester or whatever. He had 1 or 2 more drinks more than me. He drank the shit called the Jester, and I'm like a hurricane and a Jester. And I got him over my arms back to the hotel. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah, you did it right.
Yeah, it was crazy though. And then Ronald the Riot, when we met him the next day with a beer review with took us on a little tour at the lunch thing with the police, cop killer shit. And then he went to church. And then he came back. He took us around a little tour at night to a couple places. That night was bad.
The vodka, then go to church.
We were sober that night. By the time he gave us a little tour of different parts of New Orleans, downtown area, across the river, everything. And by the time we got done, it was like 10 o'clock at night. Me and Jammer decided to go to Bourbon Street. We get down there. There's so many drunks down there and crazy. We're like, yeah, this is too much. We actually went back to the hotel. It was like just too many crazy drunks out there. We were sober. So
yeah, but at the same time, you're sober. They're drunk. So you just like, pa-pow, 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 take the girl, slam. Pa-pow, 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 take the girl, slam. Pa-pow, pa-pow. And it's almost like Final Fight. It's almost like Double Dragon. Like, like you're like a fucking game. Like, yeah,
it was like horrible. There was so much people though. It was like a Saturday night or something. It was like
so was there a lot of puke and piss and shit everywhere and not a lot of naked girls?
The next morning we went down there. Let's go get the Bloody Marys, whatever, in the morning. And when we're walking down the street, there's people out there hosing the sidewalk and the street area in front of their bars. And it was like nothing but vomit smell and alcohol smell out there. It's horrible. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because nobody can contain themselves.
Yeah.
Did you see shit tons of boobs when you were there? Or was the cops making that not happen?
No, we didn't see it.
I heard that's done. Like you don't even go there. They don't do that anymore.
We were there a couple weeks after Mardi Gras, so we weren't there during Mardi Gras. But they did have these like places that were sex shows. So I'm like, the guys were out there. Hey, come on in. We got girls, sex shows, blah blah blah.
I can do that in my house. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. And I'm like, are they really doing stuff to each other? And they're like, no, it's simulated. I'm like, why the hell would I pay to see simulated sex? Now if they're jamming each other with like corn on the cobs.
Yeah, if I'm simulated, I'll do that in my house, motherfucker. Boom, done. Yeah.
I'm not paying some girls to simulate sex, or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I want fists and butts. If a fist isn't in a butt, I'm not interested.
Eggplant, different types of things. Eggplants, corn on the cob, zucchini, whatever. You froze up, brother. I don't know if it's me or you, but you are froze like this. I should take a screenshot. Here, I'm going to take a picture. Let me try it. I'm going to get a picture for you. That's what you look like. You're frozen. All right. It was okay. I'm doing beer reviews right now with one of my buddies from Pennsylvania. Oh, we lost PABrewNews. I got to take a whiz myself, and I need another beer. So I might do one more beer review. Thanks, PABrewNews, for joining us. I'm going to go ahead and close this one out. Maybe I'll do one more. I'll send you the link if you could join. All right. Well, Shagdog Spitter Swallow Beer Review, almost an hour long. Jammer would love that type of video. We'll see you on the next one. Oh, I got to take a piss so bad. Yeah. Shagdog Spitter Swallow Beer Review. We'll see you on the next one.